Yo, what's going on, guys? How's it going? So we're going to be going over a deck tech for Roxanne. I like to call her Roxy. But anyway, this is a deck tech that was requested by Tank Top MMA. So he wanted to see about a nice deck tech. A lot of our community wanted to go over more of a budget deck tech for Roxanne. And all I've seen for her specifically was just a ton of people just trying to basically fit in, trying to basically fit in food chain. And I'm like, dude, come on. Food chain is not a casual card. Food chain is too good. Not only that, you're putting in squeeze, and then I've seen so many other content creators go about that way. I was like, dude, let's go with a nice budget deck. This deck comes out at, it's not crazy budget, but it comes out at $268 if you were trying to get it all there. But I wanted to make sure that these were all cards that were affordable. So everything should be under $5, and I wanted to leave it open as you know a casual deck should be, so that you can change things and move things how you would like. So when I have certain things that I like to build whenever I build decks, just so that they can function. But if you are looking for a nice little strategy for building, I always say give yourself 10 mana rocks, give yourself 10 card draw, give yourself 10 removal, and then one graveyard hates, something that removes cards from the graveyard, especially when there's like this crazy graveyard decks or crazy graveyard loops that's going around. So there you go. And then once you have your deck, then you can customize it however you see fit. You can add some of your favorites and stuff like that. So that's what I love to do whenever I'm building. It makes building a lot easier. You don't have to build a 99 card deck. You can take 30 off of that 99, and then everything else goes. And then that way your card draw lets you see a lot of your deck, and then you can add more synergy and it works a lot better. So that's the way I like to build. I always like to have card draw, removal. I love drawing cards. I love removing things that are busted, because if I'm playing crazy things, especially if you're playing in a lower budget kind of build, removal is extremely important, because people are playing better cards than you, or people are playing some really solid cards, and you want to be able to get rid of those so that you can keep on with your strategy. So that's it. Let's go with it. Let's see what Roxanne has to offer. So Roxanne is a 5-drop commander, and she's all about whenever she enters the battlefield or attacks, she creates a meteor token. When the meteor token enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. That's really good. That's super important. So it deals 2 damage to any target. Not only that, you can tap it. It has tap and create 1 mana of any color. Also, her effect, her second ability, is whenever you tap an artifact token for a whenever you tap an artifact token for a mana, it produces an additional one. So add 1 mana of any token, of any of that type that token would create. So basically, what I have here is a deck that's based around not only just creating a bunch of not just creating a bunch of mana, but utilizing like damage and the things like that for creating tokens and things and such. So let's go into the artifacts. So our artifacts, we have a slew of our ramp. We have a slew of ramp right here. So we have our arcane, we have Cursed Mirror. So if we want to copy our commander, so if we want to copy anything else that we have for that turn, and then not only that, it just sits there as another mana rock that helps. Note that she only works with her effect only works with artifact tokens. That's okay. We have Replicating Ring, which will give us token copies of itself. So you'll get copies of it, which is really solid. So that helps with her effect. And for 3 mana mana rock, it's always great to have it there. Then we also have our relic, that whenever it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it gives us 2 tapped copies of our relic. That also works with our commander. Plus, it's a 3-drop mana rock. I usually run a lot of 2-drop mana rocks, but for Roxanne, and this is a very casual deck, and this is going to be a deck that's really solid for it. We're going to take our time to get there, and we get to play all the fun things that we normally would not be playing at the higher end of the of Magic, when you're trying to just have a good time, this is where it is. So Soul Ring, always a staple. Swiftfoot Boots, I only wanted one, so Swiftfoot Boots to be in there. Didn't really want the Shroud. I want to be able to sometimes target our commander if necessary. And then not only that, we have our talisman to round it out. Then our red crystal. Our red crystal reduces, it does three things for us, which the crystals are all busted in my opinion. So the red crystal gives you reduced mana for all of your big things that we're trying to get to, because in the back end, we're still a red-green deck. We're trying to have our big things take over while we're doing our regular things. So we're gonna try to get our value out of our big things in the late game. But it also gives those things haste and all of our other things haste. Works well with Roxanne because we want her to swing to get another one. So when she enters and when she attacks, so we get to abuse that. Not only that, we can create a token that's a copy of target creature we control, whether that be Roxanne, another creature that we would like to have, just to have another token copy of it, or if we just need something or other. It works a lot of well with a bunch of our other creatures, especially with our dual caster mage. We can, if we just have 6 mana open, because Roxanne gives us a boatload of mana. If we have 6 mana open and our dual caster mage is here, we can just tap it, get another copy of our dual caster mage, and there you go. So the fact that it says that it doesn't say that you only can activate during your turn or sorcery speed, that's really, really good. So when dual cast mage is on the field, we can definitely get another copy and copy something busted that our opponents are doing. So that's sweet. That's really sweet. In the lower echelon of commander, that option is really, really solid. And I believe that little extra 6 can come in handy. So we have our creatures right here. I really enjoy having our Academy Manufacturer. So when you're making a lot of treasures, if you're making clue foods, whatever, he pops off. And one of our main bulk of our deck is going to be burning our opponents for when things are in the battlefield. So like with things like our biotech specialist, so whenever you sacrifice the artifact, it deals 2 damage to an opponent. We have a lot of things like that. We have Go-Go, which lets us make a copy of another creature that's on the field. We can get a copy of our Hadron. We can get a copy of our Hedron. We can get a copy of our specialist. We can get a copy of our oh my god, what the heck? I keep what? Oh my god. So we get a copy of him, and he's gonna be these guys are gonna be our very, 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 very important pieces to just taking down our opponents. So we want to be able to burn our opponents with a bunch of the artifacts that we're making. Not only that, just the fact that whenever an artifact or one or more artifacts in the battlefield, you get to deal damage to your opponent. That's extremely good because our rocks already deal that. So that's gonna help us deal like that extra 3 to kind of bring down the table. Alongside that, we have other creatures that's gonna give us those same ability. So Reckless Fire Weaver, he is one of our main things. So all of them are really basically our Reckless Fire Weaver effects. And a new one from Edge of Eternity. Whenever an artifact or a creature you control enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. It also has Warp, which is great. It gives us that one. So this is what our deck are based around of. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those 6 creatures are what we're really looking for while we're playing the game. We're going to be dumping a lot of artifacts onto the battlefield via a ton of different effects, and then that's going to help burn our opponents down. And while we're getting there, we're using the extra mana from Roxanne to crank out these big creatures like Atali, Draco Seth, and other big creatures that are like Hellkite Charger, to help just not only smash our opponents, but help us get there and finish them off. So we're trying to get them low, and then while they're low, finish them off as soon as we can. So we also have Anger. That's also going to be there for giving all of our creatures haste. So this is good. Every red green deck really wants Anger in their graveyard, and the fact that he was under $5. The reason why Academy Manufacturer, I say that we have to have him in the deck, even though I know he's over 5, is because his effect is super important. Well, that's if you're going there. You can go other places and get him for cheaper, but his effect is too important. So not only that, we already talked about Draco Seth. We have Atali. Atali is just gonna give us value for him being the $1 rare that just goes ham all day every day when you have an Atali. So uh of course, you know what he does whenever he attacks. Everybody exiles top card of the library. You just get value off that for free. So we have Eternal Witness that helps us just get our recursion. That's what we want. We want to be able to get things back, whether it's removal things. Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to have go on and continue. So she's gonna help us, get things that we've lost that's gone to our graveyard, or we really need something to help us get back on track. So then we also have Feldon. Every red deck that I build, this is like my calling card. Feldon is my favorite mono red commander. I actually have a Feldon deck and it is nuts. It's so good. But every red deck will always have Feldon in my opinion, because Reanimator in red is crazy. So having him to get an Atali from our graveyard, so we have a copy of an Atali in our graveyard, because usually when Atali comes down he dies, but you can get an Atali from our graveyard. You can get another Eternal Witness if she's in the graveyard. You can get one of our guys that we kind of need back in the graveyard, so he kind of helps us fill that extra slot. Reanimator's kind of crazy, but he also helps with other things like Mere Battlesphere. When it enters the battlefield, you can flood the board with tokens. You can always have a bunch of tokens. You'll always have something to do as long as he's on the field and your graveyard has things in it. So that's great. You could also have Hellkite Charger, get a Hellkite Charger. So if you have enough mana, you can have him and then swing, get another Hellkite Charger trigger. If you have like Feast and Famine and stuff like that, Feast and Famine or other things that you want to throw into the deck, that's great to combo with Hellkite Charger. But we just want to get some extra combats just to swing in with our bigger creatures. So there you go. So I just wanted to let you guys know Feldon is a very, very good, and he's I guess you could say a secret commander in the deck. He helps round out everything that you would kind of want to have and let you keep on going when you don't have much to do. I really like Feldon as a commander and as a backseat commander. He's great. So we already talked about these bad boys. Those are give you your mana reduction, copies, things that's on the field, helps become a copy. He can also be a copy of Roxanne, by the way, and because he keeps his name. So not only that, we have Jaria. I haven't seen her too many times, but the fact that all of our tokens make mana is great. We don't have to have Roxanne on the field. She just lets us have that as well. But not only that, all of our tokens that don't make mana, they can also just generate. So if we have Krinko and all of the little guys from Krinko, because Krinko is just a generally good card to have, and you don't have to do anything with him. He just swings, gets big, makes creatures, makes blockers. He does what you want. And then eventually, if he gets too big for some reason, and they just let him do it, you have an army right beside him. So all those tokens can also tap for mana. That also helps get you there. Then we also have loyal apprentice. This helps give us blockers. It helps us swing. It creates an artifact that triggers our guys. It helps us, round out. We have a blocker, we have an attacker, we have defense if we need it. Not only that, we could just abuse the fact that he's just going to stick there and help us. And he doesn't really actually deal a lot of damage itself, but the fact that every combat we get some damage off of our guys that are there, it's great. And then you don't have to swing with it, so you can just have it there and keep it to protect yourself. So Jumbo Cactar, it's a big boy. He's a threat. We're gonna have a lot of mana. We're just trying to spend this mana as much as possible. These big slots, you could fill those in with any other creatures that you would like, but Jumbo Cactar is just great right then and there. If you want to fill more of a trample, if you want to put more trample based entries for the deck just to get him in, you can, because we have other big creatures that are big enough. But I believe that Jumbo Cactar is really solid. Not only that, he's a meme, dude. I love it. Jumbo Cactar. Why wouldn't you have Jumbo Cactar in here? he's awesome. I just like the fact that people are going crazy about it. And then not only that, if you could run other little combos in there or something, sacrifice, gain life equal to a creature's power, whatever, it doesn't matter. You whatever you want to do, this guy's there for you. Anyway, so he's just great. A big beater. That's all he is. So Mere Battlesphere combos very well. Not only that, Jumbo Cactar also combos very well with Feldon as well. So combos very well with Felden, can have an army, and if we just have a bunch of creatures, if we just have a bunch of them on there, a bunch of them on the field, you could swing ones if they don't block them because they're worried about all the little ones. You can just tap the little ones and smash your opponent. He's really solid. Mere Battlefield, he's like for $1. He's always been a nice, fun creature to have. So not only that, we have Peregrine Took. We're not trying to go with a food combo here. Peregrine Took just has it for if you wanted to. If you make a token, you just get a food with it. So if one or more tokens will be created under your control, instead make a food token alongside it. So not only that, you can sacrifice 3 food tokens to draw a card. We're always making a lot of tokens in this deck, so you'll be able to always sacrifice 3, draw, or you can just use those food tokens to, you know, extend your life, get some extra life totals, or it works well with kind of manufacturer, so you can just get more tokens and things like that. So then you also have Professional Facebreaker. Every red deck that I believe is doing any type of token shenanigans or any type of, you know, just combat, Professional Facebreaker does all you want and more. She has menace, so if you need to swing with her, you can. Whenever one or more creatures you control will deal damage to an opponent, you can, or deal combat damage to an opponent. You make a treasure, so she can provide you with the treasure that you would need to get you there. Roxanne says if you tap, you know, your treasures for mana, you get additional. So that's always great for it. Exiling the top card of your library works very well with her, because if you're just trying to get yourself into a good situation and all you have is a bunch of treasures, you can always sacrifice your treasure. One treasure gives you 1 card draw. That is crazy. Tap 1 mana to draw 1 card is good. That is amazing. So sacrifice a treasure, get yourself a card draw. It's great. She helps fill in that extra card draw gap. We already have 10 card draw without her, but with her, if we need be, she's there for us. And I like the fact that we can get extra just for, you know, I don't like to do combat for no reason. If you can get things from doing combat, that's a good way to play some Magic. So we have Reckless Fireweaver. All the treasure tokens that we're doing is always going great. We have Titanic Giant. So Tectonic Giant. Basically what Tectonic Giant does is he draws you cards if you need a card draw. He gives you damage if you need damage. So whenever he attacks, you can choose one. You can deal 3 damage to each opponent, or you can exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them, and to the end turn you can cast that one. So he helps let you dig 2 cards deep. He's a 3/4, so he's a nice little body to sit on. He's a super great budget option if you're ever building a red deck. Gives you the card draw. Gives you burn if you want the burn, and he's a little bit beefy. So I really like him. He's one of my pet cards. I enjoy having him in my red decks for the extra card draw. Red doesn't have as much card draw as it, you know, as you would think, but now cards are getting a lot better. Maybe you could sub them out for other things, but I really like Tectonic Giant. So then we have our Sabretooth. If we have a lot of mana, all right, if we have a lot of mana, and what we can do with Sabretooth is we can constantly bounce Roxanne, so we can get ourselves more of those rocks which deal damage. And then whenever it's a little combo-ish with our guys, so when it enters the battlefield, you can help deal damage or whatever. That's always really good, just to get that extra rock in there. And then not only that, you can just bounce anything else that would, not only to save it, but if you want to just reuse some ETB effects, we don't have a crazy ton of them. Maybe like Roxanne is like one of them, or if you have a dual caster mage, you could bounce it and then recast it to copy something that someone's doing if it's super broken or whatnot. And it's also there to save our board, so you can save the creatures. You can save the creatures that you would need. Timeless Provisionary. This is great. You can use Timeless Provisionary. There's another one that makes clues that you would like. Timeless Provisionary gives you food and treasures, which treasures works very well with Roxanne. And you know, it's when the land enters, so we're always going to be trying to, you know, play lands whenever we have them in our hand, even though our mana comes from a lot of other places. Toski helps give us a little card draw. The fact that we can try to get in with our big creatures, that helps give us a little card draw and helps fuels us to keep on going. And then we have the Whiff Stalker, or what? We have the Stalker, who's really going to be out there doing the exact same thing as Reckless Fireweaver. So let's go to enchantments. Realm Reborn makes all of our permanents make mana. Gratuitous Violence helps us deal double damage. If you want to go that route of having a bunch of things, a bunch of the double damage or triple damage and things like that, you can. Gratuitous Violence, it's just one of my favorite ones. It just pretty much lets you have it as well. You could also do the City on Fire and any of the other ones that would help you deal more damage. It's up to you. It's up to you guys. But this costs 5. It was a low mana cost. Helps us get there. I think that the damage is great. Then we also have Guild Artisan. Guild Artisan is a very underrated enchantment. If you attack a player who has more life total than an opponent you control, who has more life total than an opponent you control, you can actually get some more. Okay. Let me read this a little bit better. When this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player. So if you attack the person with the highest life total, you get to make 2 treasures. That's always great. You can just make some nice treasures. You could send that little guy. You can send this little guy, Loyalist, the guy that he makes, to attack that person, and then that gives you 2 treasures, and that's just two more mana to work with. Then we have Kindred Transformation. This is one of those removal spells that I believe is very necessary. It replaces itself in your hand. Not only that, some commanders are more dangerous in the command zone than they are inside of than they are on the field. I.e., they're always going to be recasting their commander, and some commanders are just super dangerous on the field, and then you get rid of it, they just recast it anyway. So this kind of helps, hey, you're gonna have to waste a removal slot or something on this creature. Let's calm that down for now, and it shuts that thing off. So Oko is amazing. This is just a one-time Oko ability, and I enjoy the fact that this is good. And then if they're gonna have to waste their removal spell on it, that's fine, dude. It already replaced itself. It did its job. And then not only that, we have a warfare. So mechanized warfare, basically, if a red source or an artifact you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals an additional damage. That just works with Roxanne very well, because when those rocks come in, they deal 2 damage. Well, this will have it deal 3, so it's lightning bolts instead of shocks that's going everywhere. Then we have one of my favorite red enchantments. This is Spiteful Banditry. Whenever something dies or your opponent controls, whenever a creature dies, then you will be able to make yourself a treasure. This just helps giving you nice little constant source of treasures as things are dying, as you're removing things or whatnot. But it's also a board wipe if you need it to be. And I like that flexibility. I like to have at least like 2 board wipes in my deck. So we're gonna go towards a little bit of our removal package and a little bit of our draw package. Beast Within destroys anything you would need, gives them a 3/3. Chaos Warp, get rid of some of your opponent's things. That's real nasty things. Nice staple. Then we also have Collective Resistance. This is great. Gives you the options of removing things. I really do like having a lot of options of removing things. Then we have Demand Answers. It's just discard a card, draw 2 cards. You can also sacrifice an artifact instead of discarding a card. We have a lot of artifacts, so it helps you draw cards, get you a little bit more draws in there, and it's instant speed, so it's great. Corrosive Grip. Sometimes you really just need it to go, and you don't need any answers to stop it. Laughing Madness. Card draw, discard a card, draw cards, but it also lets you have it also has flashback, which is great. So it's like a little extra if you need to get that extra card draw in there. I really love this card, and this card has helped a ton. Nature's Claim, removal, artifacts, and enchantments. For 1, return to nature, destroys an artifact, destroys an enchantment, and also exiles a card in the graveyard. See? So get rid of all those annoying things that are in the graveyards. Get rid of 1. You could also sub this spot for any other thing. Was it Tormod's Crypt that lets you exile, and it's 0. I like that one as well. Second Harvest. So what's great with Second Harvest is for every artifact that we have on the field. So if we have a lot of these right here, a lot of her meteorites, we can get a copy of it, right? So we can get a copy of all the artifacts. So each one, we get another one alongside it. So it doubles our artifacts. This is amazing, all right? Especially if you have Dual Caster Mage. so you can cast it and then dual cast base, so it doubles again. A lot of damage is going towards your opponents. This can help, not only finish people off, doing the diminished life totals. It's really, really good, and it's instant speed as well, so it helps a lot. If someone attacks you and you have a lot of those rocks, you can go ahead and instant speed it out there and smash all of your opponents, smash some creatures that are attacking you, or smash your opponent's face with the damage, because you can deal those damage to any target with your rocks. So then you have Thrill of Possibility, lets you draw Unexpected Windfall, discard a card, draw 2 cards, make 2 treasures. That's always great. Also, all these are instants. And then you have Untimely Malfunction is really, really good. Not only does it destroy target artifact, you can make things up to 2 creatures can't block, and then you can also change the target. So it's like a deflecting swat. I'm surprised that Card Kingdom is selling these for like extremely high, but a lot of people have these. I have a ton of these from Dustmourne, opening a lot of packs of Dustmourne. You can switch this out for, it's a budget deflecting swat. I believe this is a really, really solid card. Now your lands, I don't think the lands matter too much, but I will put a link to it down below if you're looking for more of the lands. Obviously, Keswick Wolf Run, since we have a lot of mana coming through, we could smash in Rogue's Passage, so we can use some of that mana to get Roxanne to deal more damage. We really don't want her to be blocked or killed. Adventure's Fair, we can use that to go get any other things that we would possibly need. Then we also have our sorceries down below. We have Board Wipe, Blasphemous Act, Brass's Bounty. So for how much lands we have, we can make more treasure tokens that just combos with all of our treasures ETBs. We have Cathartic Reunion, discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, so it helps us get better with our draws. Then we have this is a new card from Edge of Eternities, Devastating Onslaught. Basically, create X tokens that are copies of target artifact or creatures you control. These tokens gain haste and the sacrifice at the beginning of the insta. That also combos well with Roxanne. We're going to be using that to on a lot of her meteors, so just getting them all down. And then once of our other guys see them, smashes a lot of damage to them. So it kind of helps us get a load of damage in. So we're trying to spend all of that mana just so we can hurt our opponents very well. Fatal's Looting, more draw spells. Harmonize, really, really good draws since we're making a lot of mana. We want to try to move along in our deck. Vanderblast to get rid of a ton of our opponents' artifacts. So kind of knock them down a peg. And then not only that, we have Twin Flame. The reason why we have Twin Flame, of course, it's to combo with our dual caster mage. The reason why I always say you always should have a I need to win right now type of button, so that you can kind of have that threat somewhere in your deck, kind of moving towards being into a stronger player. We need to recognize that the game has to end at some point, and if you're late game and you have those 2 cards in your hand, or you have a way to put it into your hand, go ahead and end the game. Let's go to the next game. The game's got to end, and I'm a firm believer of that. So not only that, if you want to check out some of the stats, I'll put a link to this deck down below if you want to check it out. This is primarily a red based deck with a lot of green utility that helps it. Here's some stats right here. A lot of our mana, our curve seems to be around the 3 and 2 slot, and then a 4 on the ends, and then we have all the way up to like a 7 drop. I think that's the Cactuar, stuff like that. Our deck is very, very based around burn, dealing that damage, but we're also doing other things as we go along. So what do you guys think? This is our first deck tech for you guys. Do you guys think this is a little too long? I know this is about a 30-minute video. Let me know. I really enjoyed building this deck. I built it today on the spot. I enjoyed it. This deck, I low-key want to test it out. This is sweet. This is a sweet brew. Nice casual deck, and I think I think I did a good job. This is great. I know it'll run, guarantee. let me know. Was there anything you would add to it? Is there any changes you would do to it? Is there any upgrades you would do to make it an even stronger and more powerful deck? Please comment down below. You guys, please be safe and careful. I'll check you guys in the next video, and especially with the winner of our giveaway in the next video. Much love.